Hey guys, Chris Cooper here, founder of Execute Your Passion and #1 best-selling author of 2 books, Achieve Your Dreams and Get Shit Done. And as a lifestyle and procrastination expert, I help folks just like you stop quitting, stop procrastinating, and start succeeding in business in every area of life. And look, this is 2020. So who would have thought, literally, that I would be speaking to you through a face shield? But this is a very real reality of where we find ourselves in 2020 with this global pandemic looming all across us. But I'm so excited that as I have the opportunity to address you today, as I celebrate something important, something wonderful, something great, which I'm about to tell you about in a minute, that I get a chance to actually wear a super dope, and as I call it, a shield. Face shield, and it says Chris Cooper Live. You check that out, bam. But once again, huge shout out once again to Smile Shields. That's Smile Shields for giving me this opportunity to showcase their amazing shields. They customize them. They're incredible. And I'm so glad I got to talk about that because that's another Black-owned business. But today, I am excited. You know why? Because I am literally celebrating 16 years of my company, Execute Your Passion. Woo! Well, you don't understand. 16 years in business. Who would have thought that I would have made it this far? Now, for those of you that are just getting to know me, and many of that may already know me, but understand, look, I have been truly blessed in my business. I mean, I have literally given over 2,500 presentations. I've been seen on ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox. I have clients on 5 different continents. I've spoken to audiences of 10 to 10,000. I've acquired 3 academic degrees from some of the most amazing institutions on the planet: Morehouse College, the Georgia Institute of Technology, as well as New York University. I have worked and consulted for over 75 different Fortune 100 and 500 companies. I've taught at prestigious organizations at the university and on behalf of the university, such as Emory University, Center for Lifelong Learning. I've done over 20 of my own live events, and I've been very blessed to make hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years. As a lifestyle and procrastination expert, as a executive coach, as a highly sought after corporate trainer, as 2-time #1 best-selling author, and so much more, as an expert in my field. And I'm not saying that to brag, and I'm not saying that to impress you. But what I want to do is I want to really impress upon you what you can do when you are dedicated, when you stick to it, when you don't give up, and you're able to last, as I said, these 16 years in business. Now, every year I usually talk about, whatever the year is. Let's talk about last year was 15 years, 15 lessons. So every year I'm adding a new lesson and I'm giving you more information. So today I'm going to give you the 16 lessons that I've learned in 16 years of business. So when my business first started, guess what? We weren't in COVID. So I'm going to take my shield off so I can get up close and personal with you guys. So as we break this down, I hope that you're following, I hope that you have a pen and paper, take copious notes, because I'm going to blast through these, but I want to make sure that you understand each and every one of them. So #1 was this. One of the best lessons I've learned over the 16 years is this: success leaves clues. Let me fix that. Success always leaves clues. And what I've learned through my career, I was very fortunate to be a junior executive in technology. I was very fortunate to do very well in direct sales organizations. I was very fortunate to do well just across the board. And what I've learned is this: I became obsessed with studying and learning about people, and not just people, but successful individuals and what they did. And I realized that I didn't have to reinvent the wheel. I didn't have to go back to square one. I can build on the successes of others. And I want you to understand that, because what I realize is this, and I have degrees in math and industrial engineering and also an MBA. But in engineering, we always talked about problem solving. And we always talked about systems and I'm an industrial engineer, so we talk about making things more effective and more efficient. And one thing that I learned in that process was this: that success actually, guess what? It's a system. And when I say a system, I say S is for save, Y is for yourself, S is for stress, T is for time, E is for energy, and M is for money. Save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. And as I say that to you, I want you to understand that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Find someone who's already been successful in the area of business that you serve. I mean, get yourself a coach. Hey, I would love to be that guy. But a coach or a mentor or somebody that's gone before you, because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can learn and build off of those experiences, because understand this, that other people's experiences can be the very best teachers. Number two, what I learned is this: is that sometimes you got to do it afraid. I was terrified when I first started my business. I was terrified to step out of my comfy corporate six-figure job. I was terrified when all of those types of things were happening all around me. But what I understood is this, is that every progressive advance in life involves an element of risk. And you have to do it afraid sometimes. I jumped out of a plane to prove that I was limitless in my body as well as in my mind. And through that process, I learned so much that sometimes you got to grab, life by the horns. I mean, I ran with the bulls in Spain. That was my example of grabbing the bull by the horns and just do it, guys. Do it afraid. It's okay. Because what I've learned is that fulfillment often exists and shows itself on the other side of our comfort zone. Number 3, what I've learned is this, that we have to ultimately be present. I believe your authentic presence is the most important thing that you can give to anybody, whether it be in a relationship, whether it be in a business, whether it be in any aspect of your life. Your authentic presence is so critically important. Being very transparent, I went through a divorce. And now looking back and reflecting, thank God we're in such an amazing place. Me and my ex-wife are besties all over again, and co-parents extraordinaire and all that kind of great stuff. But one thing that I learned is that I was physically there, but I wasn't always emotionally there. Did you catch that? So I was present physically, but I wasn't completely present. And I realized at the end of the day that your authentic presence can be the best gift that you give to anybody on the planet. The next thing, number 4, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Number 4, you got to focus. Look, at the end of the day, I use an acronym. I say F is for follow, O is for one, C is for course, U is for until, S is for successful. You got to follow one course until successful. And what I realize is this, is that in life, you can want a lot of things. And, I call it the shiny object syndrome, or squirrel, and people become gold schizophrenic, as I call it. And they chase after all these things at the same time. But no. My brothers, my sisters, understand this. You have to do one thing right, really well, master that. And then guess what? You can duplicate that success in other areas. Oprah Winfrey is a great example of that. She was in media. She focused on media first, right? And then she opened the school, and then she got the magazine, and then she did all the other types. And then she got the network. Then she focused and she owned her craft, and she fine-tuned and sculpted and mastered her craft first. So follow one course until successful, family. Number 5, be authentic. Let me tell you something. People can spot a phony a million miles away. And I know when we find ourselves in this current state of political madness, I guess probably is a good word to call it, people understand that authenticity wins. And what I want to share with you is this. One of my mentors, and shout out to Jonathan Sprinkles, my man, love him to life. When I was first getting started in this speaking and coaching world, specifically the speaking world, I went to one of his seminars and I learned from him, and he's incredible. And he taught me this lesson. And I realized that guess what? There's over 8 billion of us on the planet, but none of us are created the exact same way. Even in my book, my first book, Achieve Your Dreams, #1 bestseller, by the way, it's written about a poem. And in the poem, it talks through the alphabet. And the second to last letter, of course, in the alphabet is Y. And what I say in the poem is Y. Y-O-U, you are unique of all of God's creations. Nothing can replace you. So in saying that, what I'm saying is this, is that, and I put it in the words of Jonathan Sprinkles, that you were born original, so why live like a copy? Oh, did you catch that? You were born original, so why live like a copy? So I encourage you, I implore you to embrace that and understand that you have to be authentic. Number 6, and I learned this lesson, you got to fail fast and you got to fail often. Look, what I realize is this, I'm using the word failure because that word relates with you, but what I understand is this, I'm never failing anymore. I'm either learning or I'm winning. I'm either winning or I'm learning, because I've learned, guess what? That failure is the name of the game sometimes that you have to learn how to play in order to learn how to win. So I encourage each and every one of you guys to learn how to fail fast and often, so that way you can learn the lessons and you can move forward. And that takes me to my number 7, which is simply this. You have to learn, grow, and be challenged consistently. If you want to win in business, you want to last 16 years in business, you got to be able to learn. Learning. Guess what learning teaches? Learning teaches me that you're coachable, that I can share information with you, that you can process information, and that you can utilize it and become better and do better. Number 2, in that, you got to understand that you got to grow, because I learned this from my mentor, the amazing Tony Robbins, that if you're not growing, you're dying. And if your business is not growing, it's dying, because there's this thing that I call the coma of complacency, which stops you from ultimately moving forward. So you got to elevate and move forward and allow yourself to grow. And the way you grow is through the third part of that, which is simply this: to be challenged consistently, to challenge yourself every single day. Push yourself to be better the next day than you were the previous day. Push yourself in your business to be better this month than you were last month. Push yourself in business to be better this year than you were last year, and so on. So that's 7. Man, I told you I'm gonna get through these pretty quickly. Number 8, I love this one. Be resourceful. Once again, I talked about Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is the father of the coaching industry. I was very blessed to learn from him, to be coached by him, to ultimately become one of his elite peak performance and business results coaches and serve clients all across the planet. As I said earlier, I've been blessed to give over 2,500 presentations, 10 to 10,000 audiences, 13,000 individual coaching sessions that I've done, 3 academic degrees, all these types of things, all across the world. And what I realized was this: he taught me this lesson. He said, it's not about the resources, it's about being resourceful. Ooh, boy. Did you catch that? It's not about the resources, it's about being resourceful. It's about taking your hand, whatever you're dealt, and ultimately making things happen, and understand the importance of utilizing what you got to get what you desire. Ooh, use what you got to get what you desire. And that brings me to my next one. And this is kind of an identity that I found in myself, and I'm wearing it, and I know you can get it. And the number 9 thing, right? The 9th lesson I've learned is you got to be able to get sugar, honey, iced tea done. Get that, get shit done, as I would say. But when I go speak at churches and other places, I say, good sugar, honey, iced tea done. But once again, I wrote all about it in this book. My second number 1 bestseller, which is called Get Sugar, Honey, Iced Tea Done, How to Stop Quitting and Start Succeeding. And I really talk about procrastination in here, right? And I'm gonna tell you something about procrastination. Procrastination is a disease. Procrastination is a disease, and the only cure for it is action. So I give you actionable steps and information in here so that you can ultimately learn how to stop procrastinating and start succeeding in business in every single aspect of your life. Number 10 is this, and I love this, that you have to learn that you have got to be grateful. See, that one hits. It hits hard. Because what I realize is that the world's most powerful emotion, people could say love, but I really think that if absent of love, you can't be grateful. So I believe that gratitude is the most powerful emotion on the planet. So if you want to be in business, if you want to win, if you want to make it 16 plus years, you gotta be grateful. Be grateful. And what I've realized is this: in the midst of all of the guys, we are in a very rough time right now in the United States and across the world. We're in a global health pandemic emergency. We're in the middle of an economic depression, over 30 million Americans in particular not working. We have civil unrest because for some unknown reason, there's actually a debate about why a black life should matter just as much as a white life or another life. And don't get me started on that, because I will take you down that path. But, just basic equality and a fight for humanity, right? Just equality and humanity. Not asking for more, just asking for the acknowledgement that my life is worth the same as my counterparts. And then in addition to that, we have these global and universal, things that are happening in nature, in the atmosphere, right? These natural disasters, these hurricanes, these wildfires, right? So when all this stuff is happening, it's so easy for individuals to become literally depressed and sad and upset and angry. And what I've learned is that one of the most powerful emotions, as I said, on the planet, the most powerful emotion is gratitude. And what I've learned is that it is biochemically impossible for you to be grateful and sad at the same time, for you to be grateful and mad at the same time, for you to be grateful and angry at the same time, for you to be grateful and depressed at the same time. So what I've understood, that taking an attitude of gratitude has been so helpful for me in my business. I may not have, gotten everything I wanted every single year in this business, but guess what? I am grateful for the blessings, for the people, for the clients, for the lives changed all across the world. Why? Because I stepped in my power, I stepped in my purpose, and I understand that I am a student first, I am a teacher second, and I am a servant always. Shout out to the amazing Brendan Bashar for that one. In addition to that, after that, those are the first 10. So number 11 is this. See what I just did? I took a deep breath. Because I think sometimes in business, we become so hyper-focused on succeeding and grinding and hustle and push. I'm be honest, I missed the 10th anniversary of my company because I was so focused on everything else. Gotta grow, gotta get bigger, gotta make more money, gotta serve more people, gotta go. And one of the best lessons that I learned from a lot of my colleagues and friends and close coaching circles and stuff is that, Chris, you gotta take time and smell the roses. You gotta breathe. You gotta celebrate. And that actually goes back to being present, right? So breathing and celebrating. The second thing after I learned to breathe and celebrate is number 12. And this is this: live it up, baby. Live it up. See, I used to be ultra conservative in my approach, very uptight. And I realized that life was not fulfilling. It was not fun. You got to have fun in life. Let me tell you, your business, you should have fun in your business. If you're not having fun in your business, you don't need to be in business. Because the whole purpose of building a business is that you can build a business that you love, a business you can build around your lifestyle and not the other way around. And you got to have fun and you got to enjoy it. Because if you don't have fun and enjoy it, then people will know and you will not be successful. You will not succeed. You will not be able to have tons of clients. You will not be able to touch lives. You will not be able to be productive and do some awesome and incredible things. So I say to you, live it up. As Dr. Phil said, stop taking yourself so seriously. Chill sometimes, guys, chill. Number 13, I learned was this. This was a hard one. I know that many people may be experiencing it right now in the middle of this COVID crisis and everything else, all the nonsense going on all across the world. You got to embrace the process. Embrace the process. Meaning, let me tell you something, that pressure is what takes an olive and gives us ultra smooth olive oil. Pressure is what takes a lump of coal and allows it to become a diamond. Pressure, embracing the process and going through it, is only going to make you better and make you withstand the test of time. So embrace the process. 14, I learned this. This was huge. I understood that Chris Cooper might be super, but he doesn't have to be Superman. And I understood that there was power in my humanity and embracing my humanity and understanding that it's okay to, guess what? It's okay to ask for help. Every major leap that I've made in my business, every income, level that I've jumped up, and I've been very blessed, like I said, to make hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years, millions actually technically now when you add everything up. And when I think about it, I think about the fact that every time that I asked for help, every time that I got a coach, every time I got in a mastermind program, every time I sacrificed, every time I pushed myself, every time I went out and asked someone I don't get this, I don't understand it, can you help me? Is when I grew the most, when I learned the most, and when I was able to succeed the most. So I encourage you to understand that it's important, it's okay to ask for help. The next thing I learned is this, number 15. There's power in proximity and in partnership. And I understood that just by asking for help, for people to help you, but also asking people to partner with you, asking people to have a like mind, like agenda, want to do some of the same things, working together. And there's power in proximity and power in partnership. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this, number 16. And number 16 hit me like a boom, like a pile of bricks this year. And I know you all learned it. I learned this year that we have to reflect. I learned that I had to actually refocus. But most importantly, number 16 is this: reinvent. And when I think of reinvention, I think about my dear friend, the amazing Marshawn Evans Daniels, who's incredible. And she teaches people how to believe bigger. And one thing that she used to brand herself previously as was a reinvention specialist or strategist. And she talked about understanding that sometimes everything that you planned, everything that you wanted can completely go 180 degrees in the wrong direction. But you have to have the wherewithal in yourself to learn how to reinvent yourself. See, for me, a lot of my business was very, in person, speaking, coaching, doing a lot of things in live events, speaking before large audiences, all that kind of great stuff. But this year caused me to, guess what, to do what I'm doing right now, to become more digital in nature, to shift exactly what I was doing, and to push me to understand that I have to reinvent myself. And although I can still, be effective and deliver things the way I may be just doing it differently. And through this process, I learned that I had to reinvent. So there you have it, 16 steps that I've learned over the 16th years. Wow. I am so humbled. I am so blessed. I would not have made it had it not been for you. So please allow me to say thank you. Thank you to every fan. Thank you to every follower. Thank you for every tweet. Thank you for every DM. Thank you for every Instagram post. Thank you for every word of mouth. Thank you for everything, guys. I am nothing without you. I am nothing. And I'm so grateful that I've learned things like success leaves. Number 1, success leaves clues. Number 2, do it afraid. Number 3, be present. Number 4, focus. Number 5, to be authentic. Number 6, to fail fast and often. Number 7, to learn, grow, and be challenged consistent. Number 8, to be resourceful. Number 9, to get shit done. Number 10, to be grateful. Number 11, to breathe and celebrate. Number 12, to live it up. Number 13, to embrace the process. Number 14, to understand that it's okay to ask for help. Number 15, to understand there is power and proximity and in partnership. And number 16, to reinvent. Guys, I have so many amazing things that I've been working on. I can't wait to share them. Please feel free to go to executeyourpassion.com or chriscooperlive.com, or follow me on every single social media platform at Chris Cooper Live. And you'll see some of the awesome things. I look forward to serving you another 16 times 16 times 16 more years to come. God bless you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Chris Cooper Live, baby. Understand that breakthroughs are sexy, so we got to ignite the fire inside. God bless and take care.